നിങ്ങളൊരു നഴ്സാണോ? വിദേശത്ത് ഉയർന്ന ശമ്പളത്തിൽ ഒരു ജോലിയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്വദേശത്ത് ഒരു സർക്കാർ ജോലിയോ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നവരാണോ? എങ്കിൽ ഉടൻ തന്നെ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യൂ ബെറ്റർ ടുമാറോ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ അക്കാദമി. വിദേശ ലൈസൻസിന് ആവശ്യമായ ഹാഡ്, DHA, പ്രൊമട്രിക്സ്, MOH, NCLEX RN തുടങ്ങിയ എക്സാം കോച്ചിങ്ങിനൊപ്പം കേരള PSC, നോർസെറ്റ്, ജിപ്മർ, നിംഹാൻസ്, ESIC, DSSB, RRB, PGIMER, MSc എൻട്രൻസ്, OET, IELTS ആൻഡ് UKVI തുടങ്ങി എല്ലാ എക്സാമുകൾക്കുമുള്ള കോച്ചിംഗ് ഞങ്ങൾ നൽകുന്നു. ഈ മേഖലയിൽ ഹൈലി ക്വാളിഫൈഡ് ആൻഡ് വെൽ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്ഡ് നഴ്സിംഗ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റിയാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ക്ലാസുകൾ നൽകുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നല്ലൊരു വിജയം നേടാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങളുടെ മികച്ച കരിയറിലേക്കുള്ള വഴികാട്ടി ബെറ്റർ ടുമാറോ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ അക്കാദമി. ഫോർ മോർ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് വാട്സ്ആപ്പ് 8547748698. മെയിൽ btacademyforall@gmail.com.
Hi everyone. Very good evening. Again, nice to see your beautiful faces. Right, as I've been introduced, I have been into this field for the last 2 decades. That's 20 years, more than that, rather. And see, I've been doing this training English language program, and I used to be, and even now also, I'm an IELTS trainer as well. So, having taken up this OET, sessions, and I think you all are, most of you are OET aspirants, and came to learn grammar. I think you are doing it very well. I think this is being taught by an eminent grammarian. So you are fortunate to get him online. See, and his the way in which he takes this, everybody can understand. And please don't take it as easy as that. So this is the base of an English sentence. Please understand OET, and many come to the OET just because they think that this just do with nursing or medicine. Of course, this is meant for the health professionals, just like IELTS. Please understand, this is a test of your English knowledge, not of your nursing knowledge or medical knowledge. Understand? So, and they're being tested. How you speak and how you write and how you listen and how you read. The only difference between this IELTS and OET is that there is no syllabus for IELTS, and anything can be a syllabus under sun, including sun. And for the OET, this is meant for health professionals, including 12 categories included. The only difference is that, and all the materials, all the stuff is from the medical background. For example, you may, for a writing task, you have to write a letter. As a nurse, you always will be a nurse writing a letter, maybe to another nurse as a part of discharge of the patient or as a reference, or you are writing a letter to another doctor. And thing is that it is not about your nursing knowledge of using the medical jargons that you are assessed. It's all about how you write English and how you can communicate your writing and to other person. So also for speaking. Speaking is again the background is given and how do you speak to a patient, right? And here you take 2 role plays, one after another. So, and again, that's you are using high jargons of medical terminology or something is a minus mark for you. And you have to speak to the patient as you are speaking to a layman. Suppose, for example, I can make it more clear. Suppose you are speaking to another nurse. Nurse is a patient or doctor. So you can put across your terminology or the medical jargons. It's understandable. What's important is that you have to really speak to a person in a lay language. Because, for example, diabetes mellitus, it is something, maybe a complicated. You can say diabetes is always understandable to others. Again, this OET is occupation English test conducted by your OET is organized as proof English language proficiency by health regulatory across many countries like the UK, US, Ireland, Australia, Singapore, Canada, Maldives, Malta, Namibia, New Zealand, Philippines, Qatar, Spain, Ukraine, and UAE. And please don't take it for granted that with your basic knowledge of nursing, you can get through. As I time and again, I would like to, I'd like to re-emphasize that it's all about your language. So that's why the language, the grammar is important. Why grammar? Grammar means it's a rule of English. It's like the traffic rule, and you should know what this green light means, what the red light means, and what yellow light means. Right? You ought to know that. And gone are the days when we learned our grammar in school and colleges, and this we managed it when without knowing much of grammar. And we came through. We passed our BSc nursing or MSc nursing. We came across like. But please understand, this is a test of your language where you need to really use this grammar. The correct rule of to write a sentence. There's a rule, set of rules. This is what it's all about. So please feel like a child that you have to learn just because you learn some grammar in school and see it's not that kind of like you don't have any test of grammar in your OET. It's all about how you apply this. It's more about the application. But as Joseph sir was telling you that if you are thorough with the grammar and see the level of English, it's good enough for an instructor who takes some module and find it easier and make you easier and understandable. So this is all about, and the scope you are getting is like it's a wide scope. Please understand. And our Kerala nurses are most accepted because people are very efficient. Our nurses are angels and they're really good, proficient. The only drawback is that the lack of not speaking. Doesn't mean that they're bad. Maybe the nurses, they might have learned in kind of government schools or like, and there wouldn't be much of exposure after that. Okay. Yeah. What I mean is that, and I would suggest you, and this is a skill. Don't worry about it. If you are worried about your English language because to speak right things, right? Please, I would like to say this is a skill, not a talent. And I'm sure you know the difference between talent and skill. For example, if you want to sing, if you want to be a singer, you should have music in your blood. Like there should be genetical code with which you can really improve your talent by skills, by applying skills, by learning Carnatic music or voice culture. And for another example could be drawing, like you need to draw pictures, you need to be talented, like. But skill is something you don't need talent, like. And like, suppose you want to become a cook. See, it's all about your interest in cooking, probably. But everything has a talent embedded in that. But forget about that. Still, you can really work on that. And because when you club this logic with, like, we are native speakers, Malayalam, we can speak very well, right? There's an OET Malayalam is easy for us. You don't have a class. You need a class to make it. So unfortunately, not. So this is a language skill means, and if a cooking is a skill and the language learning is a skill, for example. Suppose I want to learn German. I don't know anything about German. I can really do that if I'm really motivated. See, if I don't learn German, if I cannot go to Germany, for example, how much I'm missing out. That's my motivation should be. If I'm really motivated, I can really start learning Germany. Why? Because I'm good enough to speak one language, Malayalam. But what does it mean? Because I'm reasonably intelligent. So you are reasonably intelligent to grab at least one language, which is our mother tongue is Malayalam. Suppose we were idiots, like we were IQ was below 190 or something, we may not be able to speak very well, or it is that. So you need reasonable intelligence, though not as an intelligent like Newton or Einstein. So that's good enough. We have proved ourselves. All our faculties are really good. Our hearing, visual or speech organs are all correct. So applying all this logic together, if you can apply your motivation, suppose you are 0 in your English, still if you work, you're motivated, you can be the best speaker in this world if you're really motivated. Understand? So I think it's a good news for me. Isn't it a good news? Yes or no? But when I ask you a question, please unmute yourself and say yes or no. Please energize me, like, so that I can give the best. Okay, anyway, that's what I think I'm reasonably good enough to convey you a good news. This is what it is like. So don't be dismayed, don't be worried about, if I can't speak good English. Doesn't matter. Like, we are here to help you out. So coming in this, we have seen that OET, and as you know, I understand you all are basically nurses, but for your understanding, the OET is recommended for again 12 categories like medicine, nursing, podiatry, dentistry, veterinary, and physiotherapy, occupational dietetics, and pharmacy, optometry, radiography, speech pathology. So only these categories can really appear for OET. And this is what this OET occupation language test is conducted by CIBLA, Cambridge Boxall Language Assessment Test, and Cambridge English and Boxall Institute, Melbourne, Australia. So luckily, I tell you again, the scope for the nurses is incomparable with any other categories. Like, suppose any engineer or doctor wants to go abroad, or anybody for that matter, and she will not be getting a chance as a nurse has highly demanded job. And once you get your OET, you're changing your career. You are changing your total perception in life. Like, so if you take it as it is as something is you have to do it. You're highly motivated. As I told you, this being a skill, you can master it, and getting B4. And getting B4 OET is equivalent around 7.58 around that for the highest. Like, gone are the days when there was no OET and the nurses were forced to do IELTS. Like, see, they think about getting IELTS 7.5 or 8 or is toughest thing ever. When I was teaching OET for the nurses, I could really feel their heartbeats like towards the exam, because they're answerable. They're answerable not because they're not getting their IELTS score. They're answerable to their in-laws, maybe to your husband, their parents, or society. When you're going to UK, when you're going to Canada, like, those days are gone. This is something different. So, and though it's equivalent to 7.7, I would say as a trainer for both IELTS and the OET, I would say OETs can be easier than IELTS. So that can be good news for you. And many one join OET just because they think that's all medical based, and they don't know what's like. They think they're kind of a course where they can really do a course after their nursing and something, and next day they can fly off. When they really come into this course and what's like, they really can understand it's not a small thing. This is what the language means. So we are here, and the future tomorrow is the better tomorrow. The National Academy is with you to take you by your hands and see that you are flying down to your destination if you cooperate with us. So these 10 days are very important for you. It's not a small thing. Maybe because this has a vision of not making money. Of course, money is not everything, but not still everything. Barring that, please, there is a good feel about the people who have organized this. The main objective is not making money. It's they say it's all about the passion. They say they are passionate about doing something, and the founders are they are basically medical professionals joined together and do something for others, and that service is matchless. It cannot surpass any other the reward they get from this. Of course, it has a business in it itself, and this is what I want to say. And before coming with the 4 modules, I don't mean to say that. And if I talk about the modules, I can give brief about it. So what I mean to say is that what is the importance of OET? Now, how does it work? And you got a fair idea. And your total life will change in that case. And it's not that our India is bad or something. It is good still, because how much you are being paid over here, your work culture, and your security over here, your future as a nurse. your income, and it is, you know about that. Probably that's the reason why we want to, migrate, and it's not a small thing. And trust us, we are here to help you out. Okay, come on, we have 4 modules. One is listening. The first module is listening because we learn a language through listening, isn't it? Our mother tongue. We talk about mother. It's our mother's tongue. Our mother has taught us, our language, and from her lap we learn that. See, listening. Without listening, we cannot do anything out of that. So listening is the first part, and for which you have around 40 minutes, and audio will be played, and you listen to that, and it has A, B, C part, whatever it is like. And the audio will keep on going properly in the first part, and the doctor may be speaking to the patient, and will be enlisted with some questions, and you listen and answer it. And there are 42 questions, and in 37 minutes, and you cannot rewind it. This is the story about listening, and probably this is all about this medical background. And after 42, you ought to get around 30, 31, 32 for your listening. Okay. And the reading comes again. Again, it has 3 parts: A, B, and C. It runs for 16 minutes. A is kind of, it has 4 extracts, and you have to find out the answers. And the A is separately given, for which it finished 20 questions in 15 minutes. And that is about, and 4 extracts are given, like kind of maybe talking about cancer, maybe it's diagnosis, or kind of maybe treatment, and whatever. So 4 things are given. Read through questions are given, and 20 questions will finish in 15 minutes. This is an expeditious reading kind of. You people are very, very busy in life, and you cannot really go through all this stuff. So your skill of expeditious reading and finding out the gist of it, what is understandable. That's what it is considered. This is called the A part. Now after 15 minutes, you have to give back the answer paper. Then comes the B and C, and B is again of 6 extracts, small extracts, around around 150, around 100, 150 words, and you have multiple questions. Sorry, multiple answered questions. Like one question has 3 choices. Like you opt one of them is. So this is kind of finding out the gist and finding out the essence of that content. That's what's about the B part. Then comes the C, around 900 words, the lengthy 2, 3, 4 paragraphs are there. Likewise, it has 2 extracts, kind of research work in this medicine or whatever. Then you have 4 optional questions, like 4 options are there, and the question is given, and you have to answer that. And through skimming and scanning, so skill. Okay, this is about reading, and so the next module is writing. As I mentioned at the outset, that you have to write a letter to medical professional, another nurse. You'll be always a nurse and writing a letter, maybe a discharge letter, maybe a letter to a dietitian, maybe a referral letter, and maybe an information letter is not asked about it these days. Like basically, your how do you write is very important, and the case notes. Case note is given of a patient, and you have to really write an appropriate, and maybe the same contents, the same test. Sorry, case notes. Suppose that you have to write a letter to this doctor, to another nurse, or to another, maybe a physiotherapist. The content of the letter is different. So this is just one letter you have to write, and a lot of criteria in that. Right? What are the do's and don'ts? And the last is speaking, and speaking is the only one module you have to interact with a live person. It's called interlocutor, and he is the person who helps you to record your voice, and this is being sent across to Australia, and you will be getting your result inside the 16 working days. Okay, so you're writing on maybe on 1st of a month, and 16th you are getting an OET. Maybe 2-3 months you are going to UK. My lord, that's great. This is what all about. And speaking again, there's 2 role play. Role plays means what? It's a drama. It's like kind of stage acting, because suppose you're nursing college day, probably you'll be making a skit with you're a nurse and interacting with a patient. See how you interact with the patient comes with some concerns, and always the patient or his friend or his bystander will be your interlocutor, is so-called examiner. Not examiner, is an interlocutor. He's helping you to record your voice, and he's always taking the role of the patient. So probably you will be, taking the patient by hand, asking his concerns, and you have to greet him and say, "Man, so sit down," and may know for your purpose of visit. Probably you are going to him, or he's coming to you, whatever it is like. Maybe you are meeting him at different settings, maybe an emergency department, emergency area, maybe a home visit, or in a ward, or in another clinic. These are the situations probably. And he's coming with some problem. Maybe he's going to have a colonoscopy next week, and he is concerned about it. Maybe he has to resolve this, kind of he's anxious about it. So all these things you have to resolve, like. And in one word, this is what it is like. We'll be getting 2, 5, 3 to 4, 5, 6 bullet points. Then I thought of really showing you all this. I don't think I need to do that. That's why I was thinking about sharing option, but it's not required. It doesn't matter. See, you should know that what's this OET or like. And the only one, as I told you, you interact with a live person, and after you are listening, reading and writing, you have this session on the same day after your lunch. People will give you a sumptuous lunch, and after that your interaction starts. Probably those who have gone for interlocuting can understand their heartbeats, and they're coming into the cabin all alone, and they're really worried, and what's this? And there are most of the interlocutors are not, see, they pacify them, they console them, and make them friendly, and that's it's not for all the interlocutors. So, and this is your time starts, and after the identification, your recording will start. That will go for around 20-23 minutes. And you will be having some warm-up questions. Again, warm-up questions sense, where you're from, like what made you to become an nurse, and what's your message for a new professional, and all this stuff. Like, and this is, though it's recorded, this is not validated. But later on, after that, will be given kind of what your the next role play. The first role plays, you will be getting time for 3 minutes, and followed by 5 minutes of your speech, then followed by another continuously another different role play. So again, 3 minutes and 5 minutes of recording, sorry, for length of the role play. So this your 5 plus 5, 10 minutes is that the criteria for your speaking or to get beat. This is all about the 4 modules. Forget about the 4 modules, and we are here. In the case you opt to be a part of your the OET after this grammar class, we are there to help you out. Like, so that's what I thought, and there's no meaning in showing separate modules other than letting you know the kind of things, and what are the different areas you have to work out. Like, I think this is good enough. And any question? English okay? English paraya. I'm a pure Malayali. മലയാളം എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര സന്തോഷമുള്ള വിഷയം. ബട്ട് വി ഹാപ്പൻ ടു ബി എ ട്രെയിനർ. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറയാം, ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് കേൾക്കുക, അതുകൊണ്ട് പറയുന്ന കേട്ടോ. ഗ്രാമർ നിങ്ങളെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് ശരിക്കും മനസ്സിലാവാൻ വേണ്ടി.